So for Pattaya, again, there is a number of international schools, quite advanced. So this is also a place where you can live with your family easily, right? Without the hassle of finding school or finding community, because here, I guess like you can find a community for like every nation. So last time in Pattaya, I've seen like Norwegian bars, Swedish bars, German, French, Australian, you name it. So I guess you will find your your country bar for sure on the map of Pattaya.
Yes, too.
Yeah. So project number one is by European developer. These are the guys from Finland. So they're building their project number 13 in this area. And as they are coming from Finland, they have sauna in all the all the projects they're building, even in Thailand. So a nice project in the, I would say, in the center of Pattaya. So there is Pattaya, and then there is Jomtien to the east, which is literally the same place, but geographically it's two separate cities or towns. And this property is situated on a hill which separates the two. The hill is called Pratamnak, and this is considered one of the luxurious areas of Phuket. So the residence of the Thailand's princess is 2 minutes from this property, and the property itself is around 5 minutes from the sunny beach. So every beach in Thailand is sunny, but this is officially sunny. So that's the official name of the place. This is the only beach in Pattaya which forbids big boats to be present. This means you have a very quiet place, very quiet water, super crystal clear water, without, sand going up because of the boats. So a really nice opportunity to own a second home or investment apartment in Thailand, 5 minutes from the beach, 90 minutes from the Bangkok airport. But I would say this is the entry point in terms of the product quality, if that makes sense. So there is nothing bad. That just, basic apartments, basic project. The next project I want to share is on the other side of the spectrum. So a beautiful sea view residences with panoramic sea views, and you can have, well, 360 probably not, but you can have a magnificent view on the sea. So again, this is around 500 meters from the beach in the northern Pattaya, which is the more luxurious part or the most posh part of Pattaya. A lot of shopping malls, some 5-star hotels, and this beautiful skyscraper. So with a lot of greenery. Think of that as a skyscraper in Singapore, for example, right? With a lot of greenery, a lot of palms, a lot of trees growing on the 20-something floor or 40-something floor. And here, the properties are starting from 210,000 US dollars, going up to a few million. But this depends on the view. Just literally, if you have a direct sea view, the price goes up significantly. If you have a side view, you can enjoy a better price. But this is a top-notch project in Pattaya. If you want the best project in Pattaya, this is the one. So they are building it right now, and also have installment plans for also 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and penthouses, 30% as a down payment, I believe they have also 20% 1 year from now, and the balance is due at the completion stage. I guess that's it from the slides perspective. And it's
I would
time for
like
your
to,
questions. Yeah, sure. Go
yeah,
ahead.
thank
Shoot.
you, Tim. Yeah, I would like to add something, but I think it's not needed because I feel like you like the country where you live now.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
do.
and you make a very good research. Tim, I know then you are you can say a couple of words about your company, and actually now then you invested by yourself in Thailand.
Yeah, I did.
So, and which location you will choose, for example, if it will be your first investment?
First, so that's a very good question, but I would think of that in two ways. So first investment means either, so in my opinion, right? So it means either I don't want to invest a big chunk of money, right? I just want to try, and I don't want to risk a significant amount of cash. So for this type of first-time investors, I would think that Pattaya might be a good option, just because the price tag is on the lower side. But I guess that if the person is looking for something, hands-off experience, right? So I don't want to bother with, renting out or like renovations, whatever. Then I think that would be Phuket as my first choice. So I have some properties in Phuket. Actually, I have some properties in Bali as well. But like next one, for me personally, I'm thinking about Bangkok right now, just for the sake of diversification.
Diversification, yeah, it's very important thing. If you have some property anywhere, you should diversificate your active and choose another location. So that's why we share this information with you about
Yeah.
different places in Thailand. It's not only one Phuket or Bangkok. You need to make research. That's why we're making this
Yeah.
research for you by ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There is a question actually about this, so let's try to answer the questions from the Q&A part. So question number one: which of these places is best for short-term rentals? So, like in Thailand, there is legislation that officially for short-term rentals, so less than 30 days, you need to own a hotel license to do that. If you don't have one, you must you can rent out from 30 days plus or more, right? So if you want to be 100% compliant, I guess the easiest way is to choose something in Phuket, again, because a lot of projects here have a hotel license. So you don't need to bother at all, right? So if you want the hands-off experience, short-term rentals, and short-term rentals usually mean higher returns, I would say that Phuket is the number one choice. More specifically, if we are discussing Phuket, I wouldn't go to the south of the island. It's a beautiful place. Actually, we've lived there for a year, but in terms of the investments, not the best choice, because the property itself is, let's say, the price is comparable to the central part of the island, but the daily rate, average daily rate, is, let's say, 30, 40, 50% less. So purely as a business case, makes more sense to go to the central part of Phuket or northern part of Phuket. Northern part delivers similar rental yields, but the entry point is usually a little bit lower just because this part of the island is just starting to develop and the central part is quite developed ones. So to sum up, the best place for short-term rentals is definitely Phuket, and more specifically the central and northern parts of the island. I hope this helps. So if you want me to dig deeper, just type the question, please. Yeah. So does your company rent out properties? Yes, we do. That's the short answer. Again, you can find the property that will be taken care of by the management company. So the management company is dealing with the whole building. That's the easiest strategy. But if you want to rent out, let's say, on your own, in brackets, we can help with that. That's for sure. Yes. Next one. What taxes does an investor pay when buying a property in Thailand and from renting it out? That's a really good one. So for the taxes, when you buy freehold property here, you pay in taxes specifically, you pay around 2% of the property price, 2%, yes, single digit. And there are a couple of payments associated with the property, but it's less than 1 percentage point. So usually you need to pay the maintenance fee upfront for 1 year. This is like few $100s on average. Then you need to pay one-time payment, which is called the sinking fund. That's kind of the, not a security deposit, but rather some payment if something happens and the building needs reparations. This is like around $1,000, $2,000. And this is probably it on the when you buy, right? So nothing on top of that. When you rent out and you are not a tax resident in Thailand, you have a flat tax rate of 15%, 15% on the income. Also, if you resell and you gain capital, so you bought for 100, you sold for 200, on 100 difference, you will need to pay 15% tax. But there are some ways to optimize that. So we can discuss in more details if this is something of an interest. But in a nutshell, when you buy, you pay 2% as a tax and around 1%, less than 1% with the associated payments. And when you rent out, you enjoy 15% flat tax rate, tax bracket.
So, and if we compare the tax in Thailand with the countries, another countries in Europe, for example, here the taxes is more or less, and we can optimize it. It's very important.
Yeah, we can optimize, and the numbers themselves are very favorable, right? So 15 versus 30 plus, or even 50 plus in some places. That's a different game. And also, like, for example, in Europe, especially in like Spain, you rent out your property, then the person loses his or her job and is not in the position to pay, but he and she or she, they still live in your place. And you need to go to court. So the court will kick those people out, irrespective of the fact they don't pay, right? So in Thailand, this is just, that's not possible, let's say.
Not possible, yeah.
How can I choose the right investment project? That's $1 million question, actually. So my advice would be, so first, definitely consult with the professional, right? With someone you trust. So you can ask for recommendations from maybe your broker in your home country, because brokers tend to, to talk to different countries and have partners in different parts of the globe. So it doesn't need to be me or Lena here, right? So pick your trusted advisor, that and I wouldn't encourage to go by yourself. So better to find a professional. What I look up when deciding about the property. So first is the developer reputation. Let's put it this way, right? Whether the paperwork is okay, whether the land is owned by the developer, the all the approvals from the government are there, whether the construction site is filled with people, right? So even those like easy signs. So if the construction site, something is happening there. So first up is like developer and construction part. Then I would suggest chatting with the agencies or management companies who rent out in those areas, right? And understand what are the potential rental yields or potential absolute numbers in terms of your returns, right? So that's number two. And number three, I think, or maybe that's actually the top priority, is be very clear what you can afford. So it's a bad idea to go into investment with the thinking that I might get a salary raise next year and I will be able to afford this property. It may work, but this is a risky strategy, right? So be clear what you can afford and what's your investment goal, right? So some investors have higher risk appetite, right? This means they want to buy something and then, let's say, resell in 1 year with 20, 30, 50% uplift. Might not work, right? But they are ready to take the risk. If you're not that person, be very clear what you expect from your investment. Just steady passive income. So that's one strategy. You want a passive income or some rental income for, let's say, 5 years and then resell another group of projects. You want something for, for your kids that they will inherit from you, maybe a different list of opportunities. So again, to sum up, be very clear on what you expect from your property and what you can afford. That's one. Second is the developer reputation and whether this project has high chances to be successful in terms of construction. And third, just analyze how properties in those areas where you consider your investment are doing in terms of the rental yields. So I would put these 3 items on the table. Again, if you want to chat in more details, me and Lena here, we are very much open to discuss your particular case.
Thank you, Artem, for this deep answering. I agree with you. And we, before we recommended to you some project, we make due diligence checking. Of course, it's
absolutely. So in our company, we score every project in Phuket, for example, based on almost 200 criteria, right? So we have a lot of information, and we can just choose something very specific to your investment goal.
Mhm.
So question from Jade, actually two questions. Let's go one by one. I did not really catch if it's possible for a foreign buyer to obtain a mortgage from a Thai bank, or is full payment required upfront? Jade, thank you for the question. So I will answer in few parts. So a proper mortgage from a Thai bank for a foreigner who is not residing in Thailand and has no salary here or has no business or something like that, so income stream. So mortgage is almost impossible, like proper mortgage. At the same time, almost all developers have their financing programs. This means that you do not need the full amount upfront. What you need for especially for the off plan, for the primary market, what you need usually is between 20 to 30% of the property value, and you need to put it as a down payment, right? So that's amount you will need upfront, 20 to 30%. It may change from project to project or from city to city, but in between those two numbers. And then you have an installment plan, usually until completion date. So if we are choosing a project in the early stages of development, this means you will have 2.5, 3 years to pay the balance. But also there are projects that can offer you an installment plan for 3, 5, 7 years after the completion date. But this is mostly in Phuket, Bangkok, not really. Pattaya, some projects do, but not much. So if we're speaking about 7-year installment plan by the developer, it will not be, so it's not interest free. You will need to pay some interest rate, several percentage points above the mortgage rate. So it will be like 5, 6, 7-ish interest rate. So also in some countries, I have partners. We help, for example, in Australia, we help Australians to get mortgages in Australia to acquire a property overseas. So we can again discuss your particular situation in more details, but the easiest part is to go with the down payment of 20 to 30% and then pay with the installment plan that developer provides. So I hope this answers the question. And the second question from Jade, if I decide to sell the property in the future, are there any restrictions or taxes specific to foreign owners? Also a good question, Jade. Thank you for that. So in terms of taxes, in Thailand specifically, you will need to pay 15% on the capital gain. So again, if you have bought for 100 and you sold for 200, there is a capital gain of $100,000. You will need to pay $15,000 as an income tax in Thailand. So your home country, where you are tax resident, may have different rules about that, and so I don't think I'm in the position to advise on that. So you will need to get an advice from the local person. But in Thailand, you're entitled to pay 15% on the capital gain. That's actually it. Again, if your strategy is to resell in, let's say, less than 10 years, we can go not to the freehold ownership, but to the leasehold ownership, which is a long-term lease for 30 years, a standard practice in southeastern Asian countries. Again, I'm not going to dig deep here, but we can discuss on a call this specifically. So with leasehold, you can optimize on your taxes because by the book you are not owning anything, you are leasing something, right? So
That's why
this
I don't
means
pay.
you just give the opportunity to lease to another person. You're not selling an asset, if that makes sense. So if you want to optimize on taxes and you are sure you want to sell, let's say in 5 years or 3 years or 7 years, leasehold might be a good option to choose. But like, again, it's better to discuss in details your strategy and what Thailand has to offer in terms of the ownership part. Any restrictions on the sell? Not really. So the thing with freehold in condos is the following: foreigners can own up to 49% of the square meters in the condo, right, in the building. So if you own as a foreigner, this means you own the apartment, which is part of the foreign quota, right? Part of this 49%. This means you can sell to the foreigner and he will just have it as a freehold under the foreigner quota. And also you can say, you can sell to the local person and he can move it or she can move it to a freehold Thai quota. So no really any restrictions on that matter. I don't expect anything. So if you own freehold under the foreign quota, you are good to sell to anyone. If you own, for example, you open a Thai company which owns a property, right? It's not part of the foreign quota. There might be restrictions on selling to the foreigner because it's not part of the foreign quota. I hope it's not that complicated and I still make sense in terms of what I'm saying. But like to long story short, there are no restrictions and the taxes are 15% if you are not the tax resident in the country. Hope this helps.
I hope to. Yes. So Jade, please use the QR code to share your contact details, and me and Tim.
So yeah, I put your QR code here.
Yeah. Yes, please.
So
and
folks,
just to say thank you very much for your answering, and Jade and other viewers of our webinars. Yeah, please check this QR code and use and leave your contact, and we can arrange the consultation with the team anytime where it will be convenient for you.
Yeah, perfect.
So yes, and we will send the link with our webinar to you. You can see us later in any convenient time.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks everyone for taking the time to listen to us. I hope that was helpful. I see that it was.
I'm sure.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you. So again, QR code on the screen. Any questions? Want to discuss anything specific or in details? Please don't hesitate to use the QR code, and me and Elena will be happy to respond. I think we're done. And have a great evening, everyone, and enjoy the day.
Yeah, thank you, team. Thank you, everyone. See you in our channel later.